Guys, we are in the middle of a high-end sports card crash. That's right. Today we're going to go over about 15 cards that ended recently in the last couple days. Talk about maybe what's going on in the high-end market specifically and lick our collective wounds together as sports card prices, even on the very high end, are going down, 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 and down. Let's just jump right into it. Hey, first, I was digging deep to try to find some good news for you guys. This Bobby Orr card, this USA test card PSA 6, is really the only card that you could have maybe purchased in the last year and done somewhat okay on. You could see last sale 17,000, 16,000, and 10,000 on this card. Just sold for 18,000. Patty Mahomes. Oh boy, hopefully you weren't too heavily invested in him. Look at this ultra high-end card. One of these sold for 1.08 million back in September 2021. This card has dropped all the way down to 480,000, or a version of it, in BGS 9.5 condition. Just a few days ago. Boy, is it his wife? Do people not like his wife? So, Patrick Mahomes, probably his cards across the board have just started to tank. Well, hey, everybody says, well, rush to vintage. I sold all my modern stuff and rush to vintage. That's what everybody's, I'm sure, has been saying to you, and I'm sure everybody's been hearing. All the geniuses out there have done that. Well, that's not really a safe play either. Here's this 51 Bowman PSA 6 that Mickey Mantle that recently sold for 36,000. Recent sales on that, 38,000, 60,000, and 48,000. So if you bought this card earlier in the year, you're underwater on it when accounting for fees, especially. This Steph Curry card, Steph Curry card's actually numbered to 500, not 50, but PSA 10 condition. Look at this. This card sold after Steph Curry just won a ring and won Finals MVP, 114,000. Previous sales on this earlier in May, 144,000. In March or in April, 204,000, and back in January, 228,000. So it's over $200,000 card that is now dipped below $115,000. Guys, the high-end market's going to need to catch a bid. All these crypto guys, all these young guys who thought it was cool to buy these cards and Steph Curry and get back into collecting, these guys are all flooding out of the hobby. Some of them needing to sell their cards. Some of them maybe are selling their cards and getting into bigger ones. So the high-end market needs to catch a bid, and we're not sure when it's going to happen. Again, another vintage card. This is a PSA 7 Roberto Clemente. Recently sold for 15,600. Previous sales, 27,000, 19,000, 22,000. Those are all last year. So even if you got into this card last year, you're well underwater there. Again, a vintage card. Here's an interesting one. Trae Young, rookie card, 0 number to 10. Sold for 90,000. Previous sales on this puppy, 156, 180, 156. Maybe people saw Steph Curry play in the finals and realized, hey, Trae Young is like the poor man's version of Steph Curry. Trae Young's got a long way to go before he even wins another playoff series, let alone gets as deep into the playoffs as somebody like Steph Curry and can lead his team and win an NBA Finals MVP. Here's somebody who was really good at basketball, Michael Jordan. His cards are not safe either. Look at this, PSA 10 87 Fleer. Sold for 15,600. Look at the recent sales on this. In May, 16,000. In April, 22,000. Two sales in April, over 20,000. This thing has tanked over $5,000 since. Another, the 86 Fleer sticker, Jordan PSA 10. This has tanked in value. 63,000 on a recent sale. These were 114,000 as early as February of this year. Wow, that's a stunning 4-month drop on that card. How about his rookie card? PSA 10 version recently sold for 228,000. Well, the previous sales on those 276, 240, and 240. How about wax? That's supposed to be safe, right? No. 0304 Topps Chrome, that's LeBron's rookie year. Box of this recently sold for 13,000. Pretty low compared to some previous sales. Even earlier this year, that was a $20,000 box. Again, when is ultra high-end cards going to catch a bid? Who is going to come in here with money? What group of, in quote, investors? What people are going to come in here and bid on these cards? Luka Doncic looked like his mom might have signed that one, the little Lulu there. But besides that, this card hitting some of the lows that we've seen a long time on this card. 15,600. Previous versions have sold for 22,000, 17,000, and earlier last year in October before the season, 38,000 on one of those puppies. Back to vintage again. It's supposed to be safe. 1 year ago, this card sold for 24,200. Recently, it sold for 22,200. And when you count for inflation, I would have probably rather had that 25,000 in the bank. So again, Bill Russell, PSA 6 rookie there. Not a whole lot of movement, and you're probably down. Anytime you bought that card in the last year, you're probably down on it unless you got a really good deal. Aaron Rodgers. This card is down huge, 32,000 on a recent sale. These were as high as 50,000 earlier in the year. Another thing that was supposed to be safe were these little patch rookies, these ultra rare kind of cards like this. Well, here's a 05 LeBron James Exquisite. Sold for under 40,000. When here we have values of this card in 48,000 and 50,000, not even 1 year ago. Here's Kobe. Same thing with Kobe. This card's down to 31,000. Similar versions of this card in the same grade, 52,000, 78,000, and 69,000 within the last year. Mike Trout, 12,000 on this card. He's playing well this year. Version of this card, BGS 9.5, 14,400. So not a huge drop. Well, that's only a 1 month timetable. So could this card get under 10,000? Guys, leave me comments. What's happening is a lot of these guys who had money, maybe it was from crypto, or it was from government money, or it was from whatever, their mommy and daddy, and they were buying these cards, and they were buying these cards in bulk, and now we're seeing the prices on these cards month after month. These high-end cards go down thousands of dollars per month. So these cards need to, what I refer to it as catch a bid. And I'm just wondering, where's the influx of money going to come in? Where's the bottom? I think we've got a ways to go. We're going to see a lot of cards get listed for sale around the national at big auctions. People are going to try to suck as much money out of the sports card economy as they can around then. And we shall see if there's any catalyst, if there's any macro events in the economy that levels out the economy, and perhaps it helps stabilize the sports card market or the collectible market. We shall see. But boy, we are in the middle of a huge sports card crash. More people probably should be talking about it, especially if you talked about it on the way up. You should talk about it on the way down and help educate people and say, hey, this type of thing could happen. We are in the middle of a high-end crash. Sports cards have been going down for the better part of 15 months or so. But gosh, the high-end, some of that high-end stuff, these really nice cards really have kind of held firm or really gone up in value. Well, no, that's not the case. I just gave you 15 examples of cards that sell north of $10,000 that have all declined in value. Again, I was looking for stuff that has gone up in value. You have to find these like really rare cards that rarely come up for sale. And, comparable values on those are many, many years old in some cases. But here we have some cards that many have sold in the last year, and they are just absolutely tanking in value. So be careful out there. My advice, I would do the opposite of what everybody's doing. I'd be looking for opportunities to buy and be very, very aggressive. And in opportunities where you feel like you have knowledge and cards that maybe are underpriced, I'd be very aggressive and be buying right now. So what I'm going to be doing tonight, I'm going to be, bidding on cards. So that would be my advice. I wouldn't be looking to unload stuff or sell stuff unless you really, really, really needed the money. I'd be looking to be aggressive and buy. That's just my opinion. We'll be back to talk more about the sports card market and anything else later this week.